You've sat in that salon chair more times than you can count. You've tried the cuts your stylist suggested, the ones your friends were raving about, the ones you saw on someone at the grocery store who looked absolutely radiant. And yet, something still isn't clicking. You look in the mirror and something feels off. Not wrong exactly, just not quite you. Not quite the version of you that you know is still in there. If that feeling is familiar, I want you to know something. It is not your fault. Most women over 50 are choosing haircuts based on outdated advice, what worked at 40, or what looks stunning on women with completely different face shapes and hair textures. And those cuts, as lovely as they might be on someone else, are quietly aging you. I researched the worst style and beauty mistakes and youth-boosting fixes for mature women so you get simple, proven transformations that work instantly. Today we are going through 5 specific haircuts. The ones that actually lift your face, sharpen your features, and bring your natural elegance front and center. By the time we reach part 4, you are going to want to pause this video and call your stylist. I mean that. We will cover the soft layered bob that takes years off a round face, the face-framing curtain fringe that makes your cheekbones look like they belong on a magazine cover, the textured pixie that has nothing in common with the severe cuts of decades past, the shoulder-length shag that works beautifully on fine or thinning hair, and one final cut in part 5 that I have seen completely transform the way a woman carries herself, not just her hair. In part 2 alone, I am going to share a fringe technique that one of my readers told me made her look like she had dropped an entire decade. And the very first haircut? I see women getting it slightly wrong every single week, and a small adjustment makes all the difference. Let's begin. Part 1. The soft layered bob. Have you ever walked out of the salon feeling like your haircut was almost right? Like it was 90% there, but something about it was still pulling your face down instead of lifting it? That feeling is more common than you know, and it usually comes down to one thing: the layers. Here is what most women over 50 do not realize about the bob. A blunt, one-length bob, the kind that sits perfectly even at the jaw, can actually create a horizontal line that draws the eye downward. And when the eye travels downward, your face reads heavier than it is. That is why so many women feel like their bob is making them look tired, even when the cut itself is technically perfect. This is the one that made a friend of mine stop mid-conversation and ask what had changed, because she had not touched her length in months, only her layers. The soft layered bob is different. It moves. It has weight at the ends but gentle feathering through the midsection that redirects the eye upward, toward your cheekbones and your eyes. Your bone structure was built for this cut. The mistake most women make is asking for a bob and getting exactly that. A bob, no layers, no movement, no life. If your hair sits flat and heavy against your jaw, that is what is happening to you right now. The fix is about adding soft layers from the cheekbone down. Not choppy, not aggressive, but gentle and tapered. The layers should start around your cheekbone and feather out toward the ends, so your hair curves slightly inward toward your chin rather than hanging straight. That inward curve does something remarkable to your face shape. It slims the lower half of your face, highlights your jaw, and draws attention straight to your eyes. Honestly, the difference between a layered bob and a blunt bob is not dramatic at the appointment. But in photographs, on video, in the mirror 3 weeks later, it is everything. If you are currently wearing a blunt jaw-length bob, swap it for a version with soft internal layers. The difference shows up the moment your hair starts to move. The second thing that ages a bob without you realizing it is the parting. A center part on a bob can actually pull the face downward, emphasizing the lower half of your face rather than the upper. A deep side part, or even a soft off-center part, lifts the eye immediately toward your forehead and cheekbones. That one small shift in where your hair begins can visually lift your entire face. Yes, that's simple. A quick maintenance note. Layered bobs need a light trim every 6 to 8 weeks to keep the shape from collapsing, because once the layers grow out, you are back to the blunt heaviness that started the problem. There is one technique your colorist can add to this cut that makes it even more powerful, and we are going to talk about it in part 2, because it works hand in hand with the next haircut on this list. Part 2, the face-framing curtain fringe. Let me ask you something directly. When did you last look in the mirror and feel like your forehead was working for you instead of against you? Most women over 50 either avoid a fringe entirely, because they tried one at some point and it felt too harsh, too blunt, too young. Or they wear one that is doing the opposite of what they need. And the thing is, there is one specific fringe style that changes everything. This is the one that a reader told me knocked a decade off her face, and she was not exaggerating. The curtain fringe is not a blunt straight-across fringe. It is not the heavy 70s look or the severe schoolgirl cut. It parts gently in the center and sweeps outward in two soft curtains that frame the face, stopping just below the brow or blending into the rest of the hair, so there is no hard line anywhere. Here is why this matters for women over 50 specifically. As we age, the upper third of the face, the forehead and brow area, can start to feel less defined. The curtain fringe draws a soft frame around your face exactly where it creates the most impact, right at eye level. It shortens the visual height of the forehead, brings forward your cheekbones, and makes your eyes appear wider and more open. The mistake women make with this fringe is cutting it too short or too blunt. If your curtain fringe is sitting above your brow, it is not a curtain fringe anymore. It is a blunt fringe, and blunt fringes can emphasize fine lines on the forehead rather than soften them. The fringe needs to reach at least to the brow or slightly past it, long enough to sweep and move, never sitting stiff or flat. If you have been wearing a blunt fringe, swap it for a curtain-style version that is cut at a soft angle from the center outward. The difference in how your face reads is immediate. There is also a color technique that works brilliantly with this fringe. A few soft face framing highlights placed in just the curtain sections, not all over, just in those sweeping pieces. Catch the light right where your face is framing and create a luminous halo effect around your eyes. It takes your colorist about 4 minutes, and it makes your eyes look like the most beautiful thing in the room. This one is everything. The maintenance secret for a curtain fringe is simple but non-negotiable. It needs a shape-up every 4 to 5 weeks or it will start to grow out unevenly and lose the sweep. A quick 5-minute trim keeps it perfect and you never lose the effect. Now part 3 is where things get interesting, because the next haircut on this list is one that most women over 50 are too afraid to try. And that fear is costing them the most flattering cut they have never had. Part 3, the textured pixie. Say the words pixie cut to most women over 50 and you will see a subtle flinch. Because somewhere along the way, someone told them, or showed them, a version of the pixie that was severe. Close cropped at the sides. Flat on top. Hard lines. No softness. And yes, that version of the pixie can be harsh. But that is not the cut we are talking about today. The textured pixie is an entirely different thing. And once you see what it actually does to a woman's face, the flinch turns into curiosity. Here is the surprising truth. The textured pixie, when cut correctly for a mature face, creates more perceived youth than almost any other style on this list. Why? Because it eliminates the weight that fine or thinning hair creates when it hangs longer. When fine hair hangs past the chin, it lies flat against the face and draws attention to any areas of thinning near the temples or crown. The textured pixie removes that weight entirely, lifts the crown with deliberate texture, and opens up the entire face. Honestly, I had a reader write to me after trying this cut and say she cried in the salon. Happy tears, because she had not seen her cheekbones that clearly in 15 years. The key to the textured pixie after 50 is specificity in the instruction you give your stylist. You are not asking for a tight crop. You are asking for length on top, enough to be pushed forward or swept to the side, with soft piece-wide texture that moves naturally, and a gradual taper at the nape and sides that keeps everything feminine and never severe. The texture is created by point cutting the top sections, not blunt scissor cuts. That distinction is what separates the modern textured pixie from the harsh crop of decades past. If you have been wearing your fine hair long because you feel like cutting it would make you look older, swap that logic for this one. Volume at the crown reads younger than length with no body. Always. Your natural elegance does not need length to show up. It needs shape. Pair this cut with a warm tone in the hair, even a soft silver champagne or warm ash, rather than a cold, flat gray, and the lift it gives your complexion is extraordinary. You needed to hear this. Maintenance for the textured pixie is a trim every 5 to 6 weeks to preserve the taper and keep the top from becoming too heavy and falling flat, which defeats the entire purpose of the cut. In part 4, we are moving to shoulder-length hair, and I am going to show you why the most common version of this length is making women look older, and what one simple structural change fixes it completely. Part 4. The shoulder length shag. Shoulder length hair is where most women over 50 land by default. Not too short to feel daring. Not too long to feel maintenance heavy. And there is nothing wrong with that instinct, because shoulder length absolutely can be stunning after 50. But the version most women are wearing? It is quietly working against them. Here is the problem. Shoulder length hair that is all one weight, same density at the top as at the ends, creates a rectangular frame around the face. A rectangular frame adds width to the jawline and pulls the eye downward toward the neck rather than upward toward the eyes and cheekbones. Every time you catch your reflection and feel vaguely tired or heavy, that frame is part of what you are reacting to. This is the one I wish someone had whispered to me years earlier, before I spent a decade in the wrong shoulder length cut. The shoulder length shag solves exactly that problem. It is not a dated 70s shag with random choppy layers going everywhere. The modern shoulder length shag has deliberate internal layers that remove bulk from the midsection of the hair, a slight graduation near the ends so they do not sit heavy, and face framing pieces that are cut slightly shorter and softer than the rest, pulling the eye upward and inward toward your face. The result is a cut that breathes. Your hair moves when you move. There is lightness around your face instead of a wall of weight. And your bone structure, those beautiful eyes, that jawline, finally has space to be seen. If you are currently wearing shoulder-length hair that feels a little flat and a little aging, swap the one-weight cut for a version with internal layers removed from the midsection and face framing pieces that graduate from cheekbone to shoulder. That structural change alone is the difference between hair that ages you and hair that lifts you. A texture spray or light curl-enhancing cream used through the midsection of this cut activates the layers and gives you that effortless movement without any extra effort in the morning. 2 minutes. Maximum. Here is what matters for maintenance. The shag needs a trim every 8 weeks, with the stylist specifically refreshing the internal layers, not just dusting the ends. Ends-only trims on a shag eventually collapse the shape and bring you right back to the heavy rectangular frame you started with. This one is what separates the women who feel like their hair is finally working for them from the ones still searching for an answer. Part 5 is the one I have been saving. It is the haircut that does not just change how you look, it changes how you walk into a room. Stay with me. Part 5. The long layered cut with face framing highlights. Everything we have talked about so far has been about removing weight, lifting the eye, and framing your face. This final cut brings all of those principles together, and it does something that shorter cuts simply cannot. It makes a woman look powerful. Not just younger. Powerful. Most women assume that keeping hair long after 60 is a mistake, that it reads as trying too hard, that it drags the face down. And they are right, but only if the long hair is worn incorrectly. Long hair that is all one length, heavy and unshaped absolutely ages a woman past 50. But the long layered cut, built the right way, is one of the most youth-restoring styles on this entire list. Have you ever seen a woman with long hair in her 60s and thought she looked not just beautiful but somehow ageless? There is a reason for that. And it is not her length. The long layered cut after 50 works because of where the layers begin. On a younger woman, long layers often start mid-shaft, at the shoulder or below. On a woman over 50, the layers need to begin higher, near the collarbone, so that the face is actively framed by lighter, softer pieces of hair rather than buried under a heavy curtain of weight. Those higher layers redirect the eye upward toward your face, rather than letting the length pull everything down. Honestly, the women who try this cut and refuse to go back to anything shorter are some of the most elegant women I have ever seen. Not because of the length, because of what the length combined with structure does to their presence. The face framing highlight technique we touched on in part 2 becomes even more powerful here. Soft, warm highlights placed exclusively in the top layer and the face framing sections, not through the lengths, create luminosity right where your face is. Your face glows. Your eyes pop. Your skin reads warmer and more vibrant. The lengths remain deeper, which creates a beautiful contrast and makes the overall look rich and dimensional rather than flat. If you have been wearing your long hair all one length with no shaping, Swap it immediately for a cut that introduces layers beginning at the collarbone with face-framing pieces tapered from the cheekbone downward. The shape is everything. The length is just the canvas. Your natural elegance deserves a canvas that shows it off. A weekly deep conditioning treatment on long layered hair after 50 is non-negotiable, because healthy shine in long hair reads as youth in a way no cut alone can manufacture. This one is everything. 4 long layered hair to keep its lift and shape. Trims every 8 to 10 weeks are necessary, specifically refreshing the graduation from the collarbone layer downward to prevent the cut from collapsing and returning to one-weight heaviness. You just learned 5 haircuts, 5 specific, stylist-tested, real woman-proven styles that most women spend years searching for alone. You now know not just which cuts work, but exactly why they work, and precisely what to ask for when you sit down in that salon chair. That is not nothing. That is everything. Wear whichever of these cuts you choose with the confidence it was always meant to carry. Because your bone structure and your natural elegance were always this stunning. Now your hair finally knows it too. Tell me in the comments, which of these 5 haircuts surprised you most? And which one are you booking your stylist for first? Next time, we are looking at the one color mistake that adds years to even the most perfectly cut hair. And the fix is simpler than you think. If that sounds like something you need, and I have a feeling it does, like this video, subscribe to Timeless Wisdom Path, and I will see you in the next one.